10 players, missiles everywhere, nobody knows what's happening. I came in 12th in my very first race, but as I kept going, I started watching the players at the front. How could they be winning so often, other than the fact that they were literally the developers of the game? And then I realized they weren't surviving on luck. They were doing something very specific. I wanted to know if this game is actually random, or if there's just a system underneath all of it that I don't understand. And more than that, could I figure out that system fast enough to use it? After all, the playtest was only a weekend long, and it was ending fast. Let's test it. The first few races, I was all over the place. 12th, 6th, 8th, I figured the game came down to whoever grabbed the right power-up at the right time. So I started hoarding items, more power-ups, more control. That's really all I had. Grabbing everything just splits your attention. I was so focused on collecting that sometimes I forgot to fly. That's where most people stop. They assume the game is just chaos, and so they just play it like chaos. A few races in, something shifted.
Third place? Yo!
I stopped thinking about every individual input, and the game opened right up. I knew where the missile was going to be before it arrived. I knew which corner was coming before I saw it. Once the basics stopped taking up mental space, I could think about what I was doing. That's the point where figuring out a game becomes possible. Not before. Also, this is called parallel processing. Super cool. Look it up. I started breaking it down into layers. Find the variables, rank them by impact, build from the bottom up. Speed. Speed first, because everything else depends on it. Coins compound. Each one multiplies your velocity over time. So positioning around coin routes early matters more than it looks. Boosts are obvious, but timing beats volume. The starting boost has a timing window. Hit it right, and you're already 2 planes ahead of the person behind you. Control. Mouse control felt like it was the obvious choice. More precision, right? You could just aim where you were going, and that's where you'd go. It was worse. Small little inputs turned into overcorrections. It was really hard to control. So then I switched to keyboard. Keyboard gave me consistent, repeatable inputs. Drifting became muscle memory instead of a scramble. And then even in battle mode, if you brake just right before a turn, it lets you pivot tighter and line up shots on players that are still swinging super wide. Survival. Survival is a speed strategy. Every hit costs momentum. You lose health and you lose ground. Barrel rolling on missile audio cues saved me constantly. You don't need to see it coming. You hear it, you roll. Shields help, but knowing when the dangerous thing is coming to get you is way more useful. Advanced play. Once the first 3 are solid, the map starts revealing things. Shortcuts exist on every track. Some obvious, some buried. A good shortcut puts you in front of the players who've been ahead of you the whole race. After putting this together, I stopped finishing 12th. Now, I wasn't winning every race, but that's okay. You're still going to lose. Chaos is still a factor. Someone will hit you with a missile right before the finish line, and there's nothing you can do. That's the game. But my results stopped being random. I went from losing badly to finishing near the top on a regular basis. Losing a close race you played well feels completely different than from losing one with no idea what happened. The game gets more fun once you understand it. That's the actual point of figuring this stuff out. The wins become more often, but the losses stop feeling meaningless. So you can have so much more fun. Then I found something I wasn't even looking for. I was wandering around when...
Yo, please let there be... Yo, did I find a way over?
Eureka!
I'm gonna have to try that last lap of the race. Wait, what? Am I outside the line? Yo! I can explore... Wait, where... Sorry, yep, wrong way. Hey, now I'm going the right way, right? Yo! Oh my gosh, did you guys see that?
I went under the map, completed a lap at a speed the game wasn't even designed for. Number 1 on the global leaderboard.
Please tell me I got like a record or something. Dude, guys, I did it! I freaking did it! Yo, did you guys see that?
Developers will patch it, and they should, but finding it wasn't luck. I was already testing the edges of the system, and that's what put me in a position to notice it. Once you understand how something works, you can see where it breaks. Every game has a system. Most players never look for it. They play until they win or get bored. Slow down. Pay attention to what the game is rewarding, and the patterns, they show up on their own. You're still going to lose. The point isn't a perfect record. It's knowing what happened and why. So the next time, you're a little sharper. You'll win more, but more than that, the game just starts making sense. That's what makes it worth playing, and what makes it even more fun. This was a pre-release playtest. The game isn't out yet, which means nobody's figured out how far you can go. Speaking of which, this game might be a little different when it actually comes out, but these principles still apply in this game, and in every game. I'm curious what will be discovered when it's finally released. And if that's the kind of thing you want to see, let's test it.